Good morning, little brother. Made it back home finally. Got in yesterday morning and worked a little bit yesterday, come home. But got a story for you. I drove into Charlotte and got there fairly early in the afternoon, probably 3 o'clock, and had a little time to kill and didn't know what I was going to do, but I'd missed my hotel. Went down the road a little bit there, a little ways, and seen a place to turn in. And as I was turning around out of the corner of my eye, I seen this building sitting there that said woodworking and I got a card, woodworking machinery and supplies. I stopped in and I thought, well, that'd be interesting. I ain't got nothing like this at home. And there was this old man sitting there. Wasn't nobody else in the store, and there was some tools laying around. It was all big tools, tabletop or table saws and bandsaws and planers and things of that nature. And we get to talking, and I was asking him. I thought maybe he could tell me how to iron out my jigsaw. When he asked what kind it was and how the size, he just it was like, what are you talking to me about such small, you know, mundane details for, Tuh. So, but anyway, I can tell this guy has got, just a wealth of knowledge in him, and I've got time to kill anyway. So we get to talking, and he tells me about the Powermatic. In his mind, is the best tool ever made. He tells me the lowdown on how tools got started, and like Black and Decker was in the day was the worst, one of the worst tools you could buy. And this is back in the day. I thought they were good, and I asked him that, and he said no. He said they're a terrible tool. However, if they had the gold dot on them or a yellow dot, that meant they were the professional model and that they were an excellent tool. So if you ever run into something like that, snatch it up, other than just being an old tool. Anyway, so he goes on and he says that Black and Decker started this this marketing scheme. They bought Samuel DeWalt, I think he said his name was. They bought the DeWalt name. This DeWalt guy was a tool designer. They bought his name. They started marketing, and they took the gold and black colors and started, and that's where they started with that at. Of course, they remained as Black and Decker as well, but they started making this DeWalt tool, and because of Samuel DeWalt kept designing it, and it was a good tool. Later on, they bought Porter Cable, who was at one time owned by Delta. Now they've also, in the meantime, they've bought Delta up. So actually, Black and Decker is the parent company of the big three tool makers. They're just still, the standard is DeWalt is what we know them under. DeWalt owns those three: Delta, Black and Decker, and DeWalt. So at any rate, we're talking, and I asked him if I could look around, and he said, of course. And I walked over and looked at this bandsaw. It was a 14-inch bandsaw, and it was made by Powermatic, and I asked him if I could turn it on and listen to it. He had a jet vacuum system, dust collector set up on it. He said he didn't have one of the Powermatics in the store. He says nobody bought tools from him in the store. He says they were too high. He said they could buy them at the box stores much cheaper. He says with much disdain. He said the box stores several times. The box stores. But at any rate, so he says, I'll tell you what, he says, I'm going to come over and I'm going to turn this on. He says, but you're not going to be able to sleep well tonight. He says, once I turn this machine on, he says you won't sleep well. He says, I'm going to give you a demonstration. I said, outstanding. I says, great. Would you wait? Let me go get my cam recorder. He does. He comes in, and he gives me a demonstration, which I'm going to send to you. I got it on the tape. I'm going to send it to you, edited onto this right here, and let you see what he's got. In a nutshell, Jeff, he's talking about the blade is the most important part of the machine, of any machine, and the guidance system. He uses and recommends a Carter guidance system because of the steel ball bearings above and below in the rollers. It's a Swedish blade that's made in Sweden, and that's what he uses. It's what he recommends. I know that you use a 1/4-inch blade. This is a 3/8 that I've bought you. I was going to wait and send it for Christmas, but I want you to use it now because I know after Christmas things are going to get hectic. You're going to get ready to deploy. So use it now. See what you think about it. He asks one thing of first-time buyers, and that's that they call him and tell him how they like it. He said, tell me either I don't know what I'm talking about and this blade ain't worth a shit, which is his exact words, or that you love the blade. He says, you will know one of the two. He says, you make up your mind. So that's what I'm going to do. This is his card. Of course, you can't probably see it from there, but anyway, his name is Walter C. Tomlinson. I'll send it with you. Powermatic. This is the magazine for 2006-07. Excellent looking tools in here. I'm going to send it with you as well. You said you were talking about buying a new tool collection when you got home. You may want to look into this. This guy has 75 years of knowledge, and one other little tidbit, he also said that he is pretty much the man, the guru that everybody calls. He has an 800 number that the big three, or the big four you might say, call when their troubleshooting team cannot fix what the problem is for other companies. They give him his number, they call him, he guides them through it. He used to travel throughout the world till he got so old and his knees were so bad he can't. Said he still does at times for some companies, but you know, this guy knows what's going on. Anyway, see what you think. Let me know. I'll talk to you later. Love you guys. Bye. Bye again.